Paul Heyman brought actual police into that ring to protect Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi threw all 5 of them out, like they were nothing. Hours later, Seth Rollins did something almost identical to Roman Reigns. Same night, same message, and nobody's talking about how connected these two moments actually are. Welcome back to WrestlingCannva. Raw in Dallas looked like 2 separate stories on the surface. Once you line up what Oba Femi did to Brock Lesnar's security and what Seth Rollins did to Roman Reigns afterward, it stops looking like a coincidence. Heyman opened the show standing next to Lesnar, with actual Dallas police officers surrounding the ring. He told the crowd Oba Femi was so obsessed with Lesnar that he'd turned down a title match just to chase him, called him a stalker, called him the biggest dummy he'd ever managed. Then, he announced a restraining order, daring Femi to violate it. Femi walked out anyway, stepped right into that ring in front of everyone, and instead of getting arrested, he threw the first officer over the top rope, choke-slammed 2 more, clotheslined another, and tossed the last one straight to the floor. 5 grown men, and Femi cleared every single one of them without breaking stride. Here's what makes it land even harder. Backstage, Adam Pearce told Femi flat out that the whole restraining order was fake, that those weren't even real police, just Heyman running mind games ahead of Hell in a Cell. Femi's response wasn't relief, it was confirmation. He said knowing Heyman had to fake something that elaborate just proved how scared he actually was, and warned Lesnar to wait and see what happens when the cage door shuts at SummerSlam. That's not a guy who needed saving from anything. That's a guy who walked directly into a trap, built specifically to intimidate him, and made it look effortless. Now flip to the main event. Rollins and Reigns sat down for their SummerSlam contract signing, and Reigns spent the whole segment trying to get inside his head, mocking him for needing the fans to sing his song, calling him nothing but a hater. Rollins signed the contract anyway, calmly, and told Reigns none of it mattered, because he'd already told himself worse for 15 years. Then he attacked. Superman Punch answered with a mic shot, a pedigree, and a stomp that left Reigns laid out to close the show. Same pattern as Femi. Somebody built an entire moment designed to make him look small, and he walked through it and left the other guy on the mat instead. If you're catching the pattern here too, tap subscribe I want you here, as this actually connects. Think about what both of these moments are actually saying, heading into the same premium live event. Femi's fighting Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell. Rollins is fighting Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. 2 locked structures, 2 legacy names who've spent years being treated as untouchable, and 2 challengers who just proved on the same night that intimidation doesn't work on them anymore. That's not a small coincidence in how WWE built this show. That's the company deliberately pairing these energies together, showing you exactly what kind of night SummerSlam is shaping up to be before either match even happens. And here's what I think gets addressed before SummerSlam actually arrives. Femi and Rollins haven't shared a single word on screen. But if WWE's building both of them as the guys who refuse to be broken by the company's 2 biggest legends, don't be shocked if they end up crossing paths, even briefly, before either Cage Door or that championship match actually happens. Oba Femi didn't need Seth Rollins to save him from anything Friday night he saved himself. But the way WWE built both of their statements back to back tells you exactly where this is all heading. Do you think Femi actually beats Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell? And does Rollins finally take the title back from Reigns? Tell me your predictions in the comments. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.